Martin Luther was an Augustinian monk and priest who was a very solid theologian in his day. He had some issues with the church of his day. The order that he was a member of was more strict, so he wasn't caught up in the variety of indulgences and corruptions that were going on.
Luther developed new ideas opposed to the church. He rejected the authority of the Pope, and like Wycliffe and Huss before him, set up the Bible as the sole source of Christian truth. He denied that priests had any power that laymen did not have. In 1517, Luther compiled his 95 Theses, or statements, of his beliefs about the state of the Church and posted them on the door of Wittenberg Cathedral.
Luther says in the Theses that if the Pope can do this, if the Pope has the power to forgive the sins of the faithful in this way, and can do so for a fee, why doesn't he emulate Christ and do it for free? That's the really subversive part of the 95 Theses, is that Luther hits the papacy in the pocketbook by saying that it is abusing sacred things. It is really trafficking in holy things for profit.
The Church insisted that Luther recant what he had written and apologize for his other perceived discretions against the Church. He refused.
So he went for this trial, but it really wasn't a trial. And what happened was they had all of his documents there, and they said, recant or you're excommunicated. Take it back and say you didn't really mean it, or you're out. And he said, this assembly has no authority. The Bible is the only authority.
The Church excommunicated him. With the help of a friend, Luther hid out at the castle of Wartburg. In the meantime, Luther's ideas are being disseminated throughout Europe. With the printing press, it was now as easy to make 1,000 copies of something as it was to make one. It made spreading the news much more rapid.
It's thought that the period of time between the first printing of the 95 Theses and their reaching the farthest parts of Europe, Spain, for example, was only about 6 weeks, which in the terms of the time was lightning speed. And suddenly, someone really obscure like Luther, who was a junior professor in a university that was still only 10 years old and had really not been heard of by most of Europe, suddenly he could be known by everyone. He becomes, in a way, Europe's first media star.
The language Luther used in his 95 Theses was Latin, which could be read by educated people in all European countries. The printing press delivered the message rapidly with no time needed for translation.
And the issues that Luther raises are one of the things that really makes the printing press a propaganda tool for the first time. Not just a source of devotional books and Bibles, but really a force to change the world.
Some of his followers had taken the Reformation movement farther than he had wanted it to go. His religious ideas were having an influence on politics and society as well, and in some cases people were rebelling against their rulers. He delivered a series of powerful sermons criticizing the use of violence. He said that revolts would only lead to destruction and the killing of innocent people. His efforts, however, did not have much success.